In this video, I'm going to show you a very easy way to design a repeat pattern on paper. And this is particularly useful if you are designing something that's very free-flowing, organic, doesn't have any straight lines. So I'm starting with an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, or letter size, and I'm going to cut it into a square, leaving me with an 8.5 by 8.5. Now, using an X-Acto knife, I'm going to cut off the extra paper. And now discard this extra piece of paper, which you could save for sketches or mixing paint. The next step is to lightly pencil in your design. And I'm going to do a floral design for this demo. Now it's important that you keep all the edges clear. You're going to focus just on the center area of the drawing. And then next I'm going to use a marker, any kind of marker or medium that you choose, and I'm going to draw this in a little more precisely. Now that I have a preliminary design, I'm going to flip my paper over, so I'm keeping the top in the same position and just flipping it over. And next I'm going to divide this into 4 segments. Next step, I'm going to label these A, B, C, and D. And this won't show, so it doesn't have to be neat, but A, B, C, D in that order. And then the last step, the next step on this side is I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and cut this into 4 segments. Now again, remember the sequence of the letters, and I'm simply going to push this up. I'm going to move A and B down, and then push it over, and I'm going to move D and B to the side. So remember, we had A, B, C, D, and now we have D, C, B, A. So that's the important sequence. Finally, I'm going to tape these together as neatly as possible. Now I'm going to flip it over, again keeping the top in the same place, and flip it over. Now you see that my designs are in all 4 corners. So the next thing is to sketch in your design, filling in this area. Now for my very last step, I'm going to flip it over again, and this time I'm going to remove my tape. I'm going to take the bottom tiles to the bottom and then the right tiles to the left and put it back into the original position, A, B, C, D. And I'm going to tape this back together again. Now that it's taped back together in the original position, I'm going to flip it over. Now, if you have a photocopy machine, you can make 4 photocopies and tape those together to test out your repeat. Another option is to use a camera, an app called Pick, Play, Pose. First, I'm going to take a picture of my design, keeping it as square as possible. Using the editing tool, I'm going to use the cropping tool and take off any excess. It's a little tiny bit crooked, but I think it'll be okay. Next, I'm going to open an app, a collage making app called Pick, Play, Post, and there are many, many free ones in the App Store. Start a new project, create a collage, choose Classic. I'm going to choose the grid that has 4 equal squares, and then press the button and select Photo, and choose my latest photo, and then I'm going to repeat that 3 times, bringing in the same photo for a total of 4 times. From here, I'm going to select OK. I'm then going to go to the Style button, which will allow me to eliminate the margins. See this tool? It adds larger margins, or sliding it all the way to the left will eliminate the margins. And I'm going to select OK. And then here, it's a little shady, but you can see my full repeat here, repeated 4 times, and I'm going to save it as a photo. In high resolution. And then you go to your photo library, and you can see there's the repeat. Now this, you can then print it and use it as your pattern, as your guideline to paint your pattern, or bring it into Photoshop or your iPad or whatever medium you're planning to use.